you guys may not know this guy too well. His name is Tom Brownfield. He's a member here. He sits over there like once every 3 months. Did I say that out loud? Tom, he spends most of his church time with me, though, on the golf course. Tom is the church ringer. So whenever there's a golf tournament, Tom is with me. If you have golf tournaments that you want to win, we are available. And I say that because Tom plays his best golf when he's with me, because he needs to make fun of somebody between shots. So I want to hand, have you seen this club before? Yeah, you did. I'm not giving it back to you, I want it back. Tom, I want to ask you, how many different parts of your body do you think you use to make a golf swing? All of them, right? Just about all of them. So the first and most important thing you can do with a golf swing, where Ben Hogan started teaching, is where? With the fingers, with the grips. So Tom, the first thing Tom's going to do is grip the golf club. You have to have the right grip, right? Now you have to, your eyes and you have to keep your head still, pointed down. Your eyes have to stay on the ball. So pretend like you're getting up to a ball. So you got the grip right, the eyes. What's next? Does anybody know? The shoulders. Well, once you're lined up with the feet, yeah, exactly. But the shoulders are what starts the golf swing, right? So you turn your shoulders, and then you get here, and then you have your elbows. Your elbows are important with the golf swing. You got to keep your left elbow as straight as possible, and your right elbow, well, he's right-handed, but you want it next to your side, so you want him like Tom here. So you're basically using your whole upper body. I mean, literally your whole upper body. There was a month and a half ago where I hurt myself deadlifting. We'll talk about why a 36-year-old man is deadlifting later. And I hurt my oblique right here. And I went and saw Dr. John, who's not here with us today, and he said, you can't swing anything for at least a month. And so literally I couldn't swing golf club because I hurt this little tiny muscle right here. And so literally you're using every part of your upper body just to get the golf ball back. Now to get it through, you're using all of your lower body, right? So it's hips, it's knees, it's your feet. Stand over here. Trying to give you a driver. But it's literally, to swing a golf club, you need every part of your body. And it all has to work together. It all has to be in the right sequence and in the right unison. Because as Tom has told me a number of times, the most important part of a golf swing is tempo.
What's in your head?
It has nothing to do with the parts of your body. It's just getting them all to work together. And at the right speed. Because if you swing too fast, too hard, you're going to pull the ball or push it. If you're going to hit the ball straight or with a little bit of a draw, or you're going to hit the ball like you want to, everything has to work together, all at the right speed, right? Every single part of the body. To simply do what sounds like the simplest thing in the world, to hit a white or yellow little golf ball straight. Any golfers out there who struggle with this? Thank you. Thanks, Tom. Let's give it up for Mr. Brownfield here. If the mission is to hit the ball straight, and you need to use every part of the body, they have to be in sequence, doing the right thing at the right time to do something as simple as that. What does that tell us about the church? So the church has a mission too, right? The church has a mission too, and the text for today tells us that our mission is to proclaim the Word of God, to spread the Word of God, and how we do that together as a body is important. You know, there's certainly more important people in the body, right? The person who makes the coffee is really important in Lutheran circles. I don't know who made the cookies today. Seriously, Margaret, you and Michelle need to talk. Because those were amazing. I'm just kidding. There's really nobody who's more important. It's a joke. We all share in this together. Now, there's times where I'm teaching, and so there are certain times where I think I'm teaching, like the confirmation this past Wednesday, and I feel like I'm really the kids are starting to get it. This past Wednesday I was teaching on baptism, and I was really hitting a crescendo with this lesson I was teaching, and everything was going well, and I thought that I was just nailing it. And Grace Brownfield is looking at me, and her eyes are getting huge, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the moment I've always wanted. This is the moment where the kids are like, we totally get it. And she pointed at me, and she goes, look, a possum. And right behind me through the window, there's a possum. But I literally let them all go a few minutes early, that was it. There are times where we are called to teach people about Jesus, to tell people about Jesus, but how do we do that, and how do we do that together as a body? I want to say three things today about that. First is three things that we probably shouldn't do as Christians who are called to work together within this body. All of us are just as important as everyone else. Because our mission to spread this gospel is so vital to what God is trying to do in the world. And it's so much more important than some of these things. Like, our mission is bigger than being right. Our mission is bigger than being correct. I don't know about you. Has anybody ever gotten in an argument on Facebook? Anybody? Or like an argument in real life? And the thing about an argument in real life that I found is that, like, my best hope for an argument is that, like, I know I'm right? Is that at the end, I want you to look at me and say, you know what? You're right. And I say, I know. Thanks. But isn't that kind of the goal of, like, arguments, right? Is we want the other person to see our side and to agree with us. And it's really important to be right. And so we argue with people so that maybe at some point they'll just say, you're right. Thanks, I know. But I've come to the conclusion in my life that, you know, I don't need other people to think that I'm right. I really don't. I've come to the conclusion that through faith, through study, I am pretty confident of what I believe. And I don't really necessarily need to be affirmed by everybody in the world. I don't need them all to tell me that I'm right. And so it's okay just to say to somebody, you know what? I still respect you, and I still like you, and we're still friends, and we can just agree to disagree. We can do that. It's okay. But I found in the world today that so much of what we do isn't just, I don't want to say complaining, but it's just seeing somebody who makes a point and say, no, you're wrong, and not even offer a different side, not even offer a different perspective, a different option. And I don't think that's healthy either. And so this mission that we share is bigger and more important than just being right. This mission that we share is bigger and more important than our own personal glory, than being recognized as the one who's out front, who's the leader. So today, this afternoon, I see a Tom Brady jersey here in the congregation today. No Broncos jerseys. So today, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning are playing once again for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. And it's amazing that over the course of the last 13 years, 10 of the 13 years, it's either been Peyton Manning or Tom Brady who's gone to the Super Bowl for the AFC. And so they're going up against each other again. And for all week, if you watch ESPN, they've talked about Brady versus Manning and Manning versus Brady and how they've done against each other. But you know, the reality is, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady have never played each other. They've never been on the field at the same time. Neither one has ever lined up on the defensive side of the ball. They have never gone head-to-head against one another. They have played each other's defense, and their teams have played each other. And so the Patriots have won a number of times, the Colts have won a number of times, and now the Peyton Mannings with the Broncos, they have a chance to win today. And at the end of the day, one of the teams will win. Peyton Manning won't win. Tom Brady won't win. Their team will win. But whichever one does win, we're going to hear for the next 2 weeks until the Super Bowl how great that person is, Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, because we love to talk about the quarterbacks. See, football's a team sport. It takes a team to win. The church is a team sport. It takes a team to share the gospel, to share the word of God. I can't do everything. As a matter of fact, I can do very little unless there is a community of people who support me and who say, yeah, you know what, we're with you. We want to be a part of this team. A couple weeks ago, my dear friend, Pastor Clay Reed, who's the pastor of South Lake Baptist Church, he was recognized, I think last year he was recognized as Volunteer of the Year in the city of South Lake because of all the work he does as a chaplain with the police department and for the city. And he's invited me to be a part of these things. I just don't have as much time to dedicate to it as he does. And a couple weeks ago, the mayor of South Lake, Laura Hill, made him the honorary chaplain to the city of South Lake, which they've never done before. This huge honor for Clay. And you know what? I was so proud of him because the church, the Christian church, is not a team, it's a team sport. It's not about individuals. It's about seeing people going out and meeting a need in the community and being proud of them because you know what? They're doing the same work that we are. They just found a different way to do it. And I'm just so proud of him and just so grateful to be his friend. This is a team sport, and it's not about ourselves. It's not about our own glory. So many of you say such nice things to me about what we've done here at this church. But if you want to know why this church is successful, why it is that we've been able to do the things that we've been able to do, we need to stay after church next Sunday. We need to hear from all the different people who have worked on all the different things that we have going on and participate in one of the committees and just see that, man, the only thing that I've done to make this church successful is to stay out of your way. Because I could have screwed this up many times. And so I thank you for understanding that. And so our mission is bigger than being right. It's bigger than our own glory. And it's really easy. It's really a simple thing to do. It's more simple than hitting a golf ball, I can assure you of that. Because there's really one powerful way to do this. There's one way that we can share the Word of God in our community. And it's unexpected acts of kindness. All we have to do is what comes so natural to us. Just to be kind to one another. Has anyone seen the video of the police officer in Gainesville, Florida? Has anybody seen this video out this week? The police were called because kids were being too loud playing basketball in the afternoon. And so the police showed up and found these kids playing basketball in the afternoon. You know what the police officer did? He started playing basketball with them. How cool is that? Imagine being a 12-year-old kid and having the cops called on you, and the cop pulling up and expecting to be yelled at, and having the cop get out of his car and say, you know what? Someone called the cops on you guys for playing basketball. I think that's silly. Do you mind if I play basketball with you? I'm sure that that changed their perspective as kids as to the way they look at police officers. There was probably a time when they were afraid of police officers, but maybe now they see them as somebody they can trust, somebody they can run to if they have a need. These unexpected acts of kindness are so important because you never know what people are going through in their lives that day. And you never know the power of one small act of kindness and how God can use that in somebody's life to change their perspective, to change their view of the world, to change their view of their life. Because the reality is, while unexpected acts of kindness is our mission, it's the way we can change the world. It's actually God who comes into people's lives. And God turns ugly, terrible, desperate situations into beautiful things. God does it every day. Because our God is a God who turns death into life over and over again. And our God is a God who shines light into darkness. The darkness has been defeated. it always will be defeated. And by being kind to one another, we're proclaiming that victory.